good evening, and welcome to another episode of Elevate. I am your host, Justin Caraway, and I have my co-host supposed to be joining me. I guess we'll just he's running a little late, so we'll just stand by, wait on him. But I like to start this episode off with a special RIP to a good brother that we lost. I think that was actually the day before Juneteenth. Guy that I met that helped me as far as with the bike industry, and someone that I really admire and look up to in that regard is an older man by the name of Solo T, is what they call him in the bike world. But I wanted to give a special RIP to him, condolences to him and his family and all the loved ones and all the ones that support him. So once again, a special RIP to him. And with that being said, I got my co-host in the building. Let's go ahead and bring them in. CJ,
Man,
with it.
hey man, tell your people to get out the frame shot, dog. I see Melissa back there. Well, she was back there with Justice Cornbread.
Yep.
Okay.
Never fails, never fails.
Nah, it was good. Was good with y'all, man.
Dude, man, everything, man. Hot, but everything good.
Yeah, hey man, I see this is my first time in damn tank top shit. You know what I'm saying?
I see you.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Hey, we at Elevate, man. We so unprofessional, bro. Every other people stuff. Hey, we gotta be here 15 minutes prior. Nigga, I hopped in at 7 o'clock, dog. Hey, man, it's all good.
It is what it is. We getting there. Don't worry about it. We we just doing what we can. But
yes, sir.
I want to take this time out too to give a special thank you to you, Ivan, Mika, everyone that came out to support the BS3 network at the Juneteenth event. I definitely got to give a special shout out to the city of Garland and everyone that took a part in that and everyone that took time out of their day to come make that event what it was, man. It was a great event. It was a great turnout. I think everyone had a good time. And it's something that I'm looking forward to continuously being on that board and just being a part of that, man. I mean, it meant a lot to see people out that came, showed support, had a good time. The little rain didn't stop anything. It was still hot as fish grease out there. But, you know, we can't complain about that at all. So, do you want to share anything that you got out of that?
Yes, sir, man. It was cool, man. You know, shout out, man. Hey, that was my first time meeting Ivan in person. That was my first time meeting Mika in person, man. Everybody different, you know. See, now I done seen what you look like before, but you know, me seeing Ivan and Mika for the first time, man. You know, that was real. What's up? You know, and it was cool. I think I met up with. Yo, so you still got some people's contacting your backpack. I never came out and got. So, you know, but we also got that officer. And that just reminded me. So I'll hit him up. Maybe if not next week, the following week, we could probably possibly have him on and just talk about, you know what I'm saying, community, black people in policing, you know what I'm saying? And I'll just talk to him offline, and he like a real dude, you know what I'm saying? So that was real interesting. But I got to rub elbows with I believe, wasn't he like what, the chief deputy manager?
Yeah.
I forgot his name already. But I talked to him. Mitch, yeah. What Mitch Bates or something?
Yep.
Yeah, Mitch Bates. Man, he was pretty cool dude, man. You know, he shook my hand. And you know, we just chopped it up. I was just telling him, like, hey, like, how can somebody, you know, maybe work for you guys, or maybe just want to make an impact and just, you know, be officially, you know, with, you know, tied in with Garland. He would just let me know the steps. But yeah, but he's a cool dude, man. I really enjoyed myself, man. I wish man, I was hot as hell, bro. It was hot. Hey, I remember it was hot, man. I was like, God, hey, man, y'all see, I think I had a towel. Shit, I had a towel, man. I had me some overalls or whatever. Shit, I had like a bucket hat. It was hot as hell, man. So
Yeah.
but it was good. It was a cool event though, man. It was a
Yeah.
good event.
And shout out to our big brother Ben. What's up to you, family? Wish you were able to be there, but I hope you enjoyed Atlanta. Hope you had a good time with the family and stuff. Man, I have to say that Ivan and Mika, as well as CJ, you guys represented the network well. Got a lot of good feedback from the city officials about the BS3 network and wanting to collab and get a few episodes themselves. So I think, man, that was a great opportunity and more to come from that, actually, to be quite honest with you. And man, I can't say thank you enough for the job you guys did. And CJ, you getting out there, networking, going to talk to people, just presenting yourself, you know what I'm saying? Being approachable, having people being able to have laughs with you, as well as knowing that you're out there with a purpose. That spoke volumes. And I saw you take a lot of leaps, not steps, but leaps right in front of us just within that event. So, brother, I'm very proud of you. I know what you're capable of, and I feel like you're starting, not even really, but you're about to tap into it. And that event was like, man, to me, that was like one of the biggest events that I ever been a part of as far as with the city. And man, I'll have you roll with me any event. I don't care if it's corporate, whatever. Any event, I'm gonna be looking for CJ to come and do his thing like he just did, because man, you really did that, man. You really represented well for BS3, but not only just for BS3, but for yourself and for your family. So, like I told you before, my thing is, let's get this where we can do it in Lancaster too. Let's do this where BS3 has to, hey, we only gonna have so many go to Lancaster, so many go to Garland, so many in Dallas. Like, that's what my vision is when it comes to that. And who better to kick it off than you? So kudos to you once again, man. You really did a lot. And to the network, thank you guys for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to represent us and get us in front of people. And the best is still to come, man. In my opinion, this is just the starting block, and we on our way to bigger and better things, man. For real, for real.
Hey, before we get started, what's going on? What's going on, Brian? I said Brian. I'm tweaking. H right. We don't use that. I'm tweaking, bro. I'm on one. But seriously though, shout out to BS3 and shout out for and a lot of people don't know about me and Justin's relationship. Maybe when we get around the 10, 11 minute mark, we can get in what we getting in. But my girl's brother used to hoop with his name is Dominique. He used to hoop with Justin a lot. And Dominique, which is my girl's brother, Dominique had a cousin named, right? Yeah, mm-hmm. Dominique got a cousin, named, Melissa, and that's how, we all got kind of tight. Now, what we really got tight in like a party setting. Obviously, I wasn't there when he met fucking Melissa. I was fucking probably 4 years old or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we got real tight after like a party, man. I was like, he cool with people. And then, and we just got, chopping it up. And then I think somebody was telling me how, I think it was my girl that told me like, oh, like he's really into like, how black people moves and this, that, and third. And I said, he's a cool dude. And, but I just wanted to say all that to say shout out for BS3, shout out to Justin, and also shout out to Ivan, King Dog. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody that truly believes in me. And I didn't know from like the very first episode King told me like, hey, that was me that said, hey, get him on the phone and get him, like I didn't know that was Ivan, so
Yep.
so shout out to him, really believing in me and just, and just constantly guiding me, like along the way. So shout out to him. And I love being on the network. I mean it, BS3 is big, but it's also, it's just preparing me for possibly my own journeys, when we maneuver and everything,
Oh yeah.
but shout out to BS3, man. I could never turn my back on this right here. So,
There you go.
could never.
To me, man, this is this is a family affair, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
And since day one, as far as like me and you sitting down chopping it up, that's all I look at you as. I look at you as a cousin, a distant cousin, straight up.
Right.
But
Right.
the beauty of this network is all it does is give us confidence. It builds up our self-esteem, our self-awareness, and also it teaches us as well. I mean, I can speak for myself. I learned from watching other podcasts as well on the network, and it's never a time that I watch someone else doing their thing that I'm not either motivated, moved, or inspired, or I'm learning something new or something different. So, with that, I mean, to me, that's perfect segue into our topic today, which is mentality, old school versus new school. So, of course, if we have to go with, a debate form, I would have to be old school, and you, of course, will be new school. And I love the fact that you text me this topic because it does resonate. It does. You hit it dead on. I feel like a lot of young people are feeling as if, y'all can't relate to me. Y'all don't get me. Y'all don't understand me. Your mentality or your way of thinking is old or it's misguided or whatever the case may be. But me personally, I guess being the youngest of seven and having older people always being in my presence, guiding me and molding me into what I'm becoming, I always looked at it as a wise man learns from other people's mistake. A fool learns from his own. So I always felt like, hey, it means something when people tell me I'm wise beyond my years because I look at my siblings, my family members, and people in general that I look up to. And if I can learn from their mistakes or their issues or their past, then I'm doing something right. I mean, Jay-Z said it in the song. Hov did that, so hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. And that resonates to me. That means, hey, learn from what I did so you ain't got to make the same mistakes. And if you look at our community as a Black community, look at what our ancestors went through as far as the struggle, the fight, the drive, the ambition, the hunger to make things better for us. We should use that as a springboard and a foundation for us to better ourselves and uplift and elevate ourselves to another position where our youth can look at us and say, thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for your dedication. And we appreciate that. But I want to get into you as far as the new school mentality, because for me, it's certain things that I do understand, and there's certain things where I'm like, yeah, I may be a little dated on that. So you got the floor, CJ.
So do we got any comments or?
Well, A-Trap just
Hey,
agreeing.
bro, this. Oh, okay. I periodically ask that, just you know what I'm saying, but
Oh yeah.
so for one, Justin, you're not old, you're just older than me, kind of
Right.
not significantly. Well, you about 12. We go, you about 12 years older than I am. So, it's a
Yeah,
gap.
it's a gap.
It's a gap. But so when it comes to this topic, that's why I want to speak on it. It's a constant misunderstanding we're having, you know, in the older mentality versus that younger mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And H-Rap, when he was on here last time, he said something to me and it made so much sense. And I was thinking about it a little bit. So possibly if we do a part two, I definitely want him back so he can just elaborate like a little bit more. But H-Rap was saying, he was like, "Hey, I'm old. Hey, shit, you right. I ain't gonna change. I ain't gonna change a damn thing about me, shit." So, you know, and don't get it twisted. Ain't nothing wrong with, you know, with that, you know, and I guess what I'm trying to say is, when we have that whole old school, new school mentality, personally, I feel like in order for us to have some type of understanding, we gotta have some type of middle ground. And I feel like the middle ground ain't stable. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So what I'm seeing is a lot of old cats. They don't like, they don't like fucking with us because, oh man, y'all too hot. Oh, y'all too this, that, and the third, which I understand, you know what I'm saying? I understand because I'm 25. To my brothers, I'm old because they 19 years old. So they
Mm-hmm.
and they, some of the shit they be doing, I'd be like, bro, like, chill out on that. Yeah, I just be like, all right, like, bro, chill out on that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but that's kind of what the old school, I don't see a lot of older cats, trying not to say it don't happen, but try to just school the youngsters. They just like, hey man, y'all a little bit too much for me. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the newer school people, they kind of, like they kind of get put off by that older mentality. They just be like, well, shit, y'all ain't trying to hear us. Y'all always talking down on us. Y'all always saying back in my fucking day, this shit wouldn't slide. I'm just like, all right, nigga, okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or yes, ma'am, all right, ma'am, go, you know what I'm saying? Go about your business. You know what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying? So it's a constant ain't nobody meshing, and I feel like a lot of people ain't trying to hear nobody out as far as as far as advice on just because older people, y'all, like you guys have been through certain situations, you know what I'm saying, that we haven't before, you know what I'm saying, and we're going through it.
Right.
So, so it needs to be some type of balance. And just like H-Rap was saying, the whole hierarchy is messed up, because because when I was telling them, like, hey, when I see some youngin do some dumb shit, I'll be like, bro, who your OG? And
Right,
then,
right.
and then H-Rap saying, shit, a lot of these new niggas, they ain't got no OGs. They just
Mm-hmm.
out here. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's why I'm saying, there has to be some type of understanding for change to happen. And just last thing, and I'll let you have it. A lot of the younger generation, we got to look out for the next one. Cause
Right.
I'm also, now I'm a youngster, but I'm also not, I'm not retarded. Just like how you're 37, if I keep living, eventually I'm gonna hit 37. And age rap or like age rap and King Dog, they around the same around they in their 50s or they
Uh-huh.
50 on the mark of 51. If we keep doing what we're supposed to do, I'm gonna get that age, you're gonna get that age as well, and it's gonna be another class. And that's what somebody told me. He's like, hey, it's always gonna be another class. It's always gonna be a freshman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That's another conversation for a different day. But hey, it's always gonna be a freshman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why we just need to leave little nuggets for the next generation. That's why I'm doing all this stuff so I can leave for the next generation. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's
right.
how it should be. But some people, that's not what they own.
Well, I mean, I to sum it up perfectly, A-Strap is in the comments right now. And that was something that I heard years ago when I was growing up at Luhuff. It was always each one teach one. And really what that moniker means is, you ever heard of the saying, if you know better, you do better?
For sure.
That's really what it is you know better, so you expect to do better, and within doing better, you're not only telling someone, but you're setting that example for them as well. And
Right.
you can speak to this because you're a father now. Like when you see your son do certain things, especially the older he becomes, you'll start knowing like, now that's gonna set you up for failure. Or
Right.
when it pertains to sports, you'll see something in this technique and you'll be like, nah, you got to fix that because this is gonna get you a better result, right? So that's how I look at it as far as us as a community. When I see a young black man, a young black woman, that I just look at it as coaching. And you never outgrow coaching. The day you outgrow coaching is the day you die, in my opinion. So with that being said, I always look at it like, hey, I want people to know that I'm approachable, I'm coachable, and pertaining to our lives, man, like that's how we continue to grow in life. That's how you're going to continue to have success. That's how I'm going to continue to have success. So you look at those people that are ahead of you as far as age. We look at a King Doc or A Trap or Brian, not Brian, but Ben. We look at
Yeah.
and we see the success that they're having in life, and you really want to mimic that success. You want to know and pick their brains of what is it that got Ben to this level, or what got King Doc to this level, or what got A Trap to this level. Once you figure that out, not saying you have to follow their exact footprints, but you apply it to yourself. You find things that they do, the way that they move, the things that they may critique in their lives, and you adjust it to your life that's going to be beneficial for you and yours. And that's one thing I've always been able to sort of do is, hey, I don't want to take advice from someone that's doing bad. Just being honest, I don't want to take advice from nobody that's doing worse than what I'm doing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because how can you, and I know that may sound bad because you should be able to take advice from anyone. But what I mean by that is I want to be around people where I know I'm not the smartest man in the room because that
Yeah.
means I'm challenging myself, I'm pushing myself, and I can learn something. And that's why, like, for me, coming from such a big family, anytime we have gatherings, I love being around my older aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, just aunts, everybody, because I just learn so much. I try to soak it all in and apply it because it does nothing but help me. So when I'm talking to, a youngster, I get it, CJ, I'm with you. You having the brothers that's 19 years old, like, yeah, in their mind, you 25, like, whoa, CJ old, CJ grown
Hey,
man.
bro, they think I'm flip that. They think I'm 52. Shit, goddamn, bro.
But,
Like, you know
but
what I'm saying?
you gotta remember when you were 19, the
No, that's
mentality,
facts. That's
the
facts. That's
mentality
facts.
is like, yo, I'm 19. Like you feel like invincible, not necessarily
Bro, you
invincible
feel like you gonna be young
forever.
forever, bro.
Yeah,
You think you gonna be young forever. You think you just about
exactly.
to exactly, yeah.
So in their head, when you trying to talk to them, they're probably looking at you like, nah, bro, I hear what you're saying, but you don't get it because it's a different life. It's a different time now than what it
Well,
was in your day.
well, you know what? How I like to give off advice, and that's another thing with the older generation, y'all, and not necessarily you per se, but I'll just say people in the older generation, you're not connecting with how the younger generation connects. And let me tell you about people like in my age group and why we kind of chilled out on certain things. Like for example, it's a constant thing we be seeing. Dang, why relationships ain't like how our grandparents is, or they'll say something like, "Oh, like why church attendance is so low," or just certain things that when we were younger we was looking up, and we're starting to realize that these older people, they are making 25-year-old mistakes.
Got you.
And we starting to see like, damn, like you're not perfect, or not to say we never expect you to be perfect, but we like, dang, we're not seeing what we thought, because when everybody was saying, hey, when you get older, you'll understand. And then now we're starting to get older. We like shit. We understand y'all full of shit. God damn, we like shit, y'all. I'm like hell, but my mom, man, my mom taught me a valuable lesson about just things. When I used to watch, so I used to watch with my mom Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? I swear that shit had me hooked for a solid 2 months, like in like my summer when I was like 10 or 11 years old. I used to, this and the third, right? And I remember, I think I was like 14. So I was like 40, and I think I caught my mom watching it. I was like, Mama, how old are these women? She said, son, they like 46, 48, some of them even 50. I said, why are they acting like that? Like, why are they acting, now, obviously, I know reality TV, some of the shit a little fake, but like, but why are y'all acting like that, though? And she just said, hey, son, some people just, I think she said something like, she was like, hey, son, some people just get older. And I didn't kind of understand what she meant, but what she was just saying was some people just, like, if you keep living, you age. But if you don't learn nothing along the way, you'll still have the same mentality of a 20-year-old when you in your late 40s. Yeah. And that's how it shouldn't be. Like, you
would hope that some people mature. You would hope that there's a switch in their brain that goes, yo, I can't keep doing the same thing I was doing in my 20s because now I'm in my 30s or now I'm in my 40s. You know what I'm saying? You would hope that. But common sense isn't so common. And maturity isn't just with age. And you hear that. I know my mama used to say that to me all the time. Act your age, not your shoe size. Like, oh, okay. Like that registered to me. Like, yo, you can't act like a 9-year-old when 15 or 18 years old. You can't get away with certain things. You have to learn to hold yourself accountable. And that, to me, as far as the new school mentality, that's one of the things that I feel like I'm missing as far as that is concerned, because I'm constantly talking to dudes about accountability. Like, yo, if you're upset with something in your life, then you have another 24 hours if God sees fit that you can wake up and make something happen. You can wake up and make a change, but you got to hold yourself accountable. It's too often, especially me being in corporate America, man, I see it all the time where they look at us and they have this like, oh, you come from a broken family, or you have a hard life growing up, like pat on the back or let us try to help you. But no, you actually go in there and you show them, or you show like, yo, I want to make a difference in my community, or I want to make a difference in the way the society views us as African Americans. Then that's where, to me, that's where accountability starts taking place. And that's where you start making stuff happen, man. So I always looked at it that way. Like, yo, you have to know and understand. And I told you that before as well. When you out here doing your interviews, by the way, we're going to talk about that. When you doing your interviews and stuff, you ain't just representing yourself, CJ. You representing all of us, because you are that person that they chose to say, let's see what he's made out of. Let's see what he's capable of. And if you go in there and you do your damnedest and you do a bang up job, guess what? They're going to look at that next African-American candidate and say, you know what? It's possible, because I had CJ, and CJ showed that he could do the job and he's capable of doing it beyond what our expectations are. So for me, that's just how I look at it. Because
right.
Like, I'm just passionate about that, because it's too many of us that have the same sob stories. There's too many of us. Oh, I got a broken family. Hell, to be real with you, just giving my family as example, if my aunts and uncles looked at it that way, like, oh, I come from a broken family, hell, I probably wouldn't even be here. A lot of us, King Dog probably wouldn't be here. Mika, Alicia, Nicole, my brothers, like all of us probably would be, looking sad. But that's a testament to our family dynamic and a testament to that. I feel like the Black community, we already have that heritage. We have that. We know our ancestors come from slavery, come from not having anything but making a way out of no way. Now it's for us, it's easier because they already did that hard work. So now for us, it's really like, yo, you need to have that same drive and apply it to get you even higher than what you are right now, because they started out low on the totem pole at ground zero. Now it's up to us to keep going, keep making a difference, keep climbing that totem pole until we get to where we know we deserve to be. And that's that number one position.
Hey, I was gonna say, like me personally, I really feel like, when it comes to, us and having an understanding, a lot of older people, they get kind of put off on these youngsters, our antics. They just like, oh, we don't want to, we don't want to deal with all that, like y'all doing too much. Let me say this, me personally, and this is how I can connect with my little brothers and why they still, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not so forceful trying to constantly correct them on shit. I feel like a lot of older people, that's kind of a thing. Like y'all want to pull somebody to the side, and they ain't gonna rock with everybody because because guess what the youngster gonna say? Because I tell you, I'm like, all right, bro. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Like, get the fuck up out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like a real dismissive personality. And me personally, came to my little brothers, I wasn't trying to, cause they was getting on my nerves. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Y'all just do your thing, But how I look at it is experience is the best teacher. And I remember my mom be telling me like, yo, like drop little nuggets in your brother's ear. And I used to do, and I do it a lot now still, but but before I tell mom, I say, mama, they gonna learn when they bump their head on the road. Experience is the best teacher. Don't get twisted. If it's something that's gonna get you to the Lord a little bit quicker, then I'll probably intervene. But you know what I'm saying? But like experience is the best teacher. That's why I kind of just let this shit happen. Like people be looking at me funny, because I don't say this multiple times about like my son, right? And how I want him to experience life. You know what I'm saying? Experience is the best teacher. Now I hope he listens to my words. I hope he adheres to my words, but he's gonna be a man at some point.
Right.
And if I had a girl, I'd be like, okay, you're gonna be a woman someday. So I just hope some of the decisions you make won't get you in a real messed up situation. But it's like I want my kids to crack. I want my son to go through certain situations that he feel the pressure. Because I'm gonna tell you something, as a youngster, I had to grow up quick when certain situations happened in my life. I have to be like, oh, this shit for real. Like, goddamn, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, that's a real thing that just got to kind of happen a little bit more for us to really get understood. It's unfortunate when we have to lose our lives or some real shit happens to us, then it's too far back,
Right,
and how I
right.
think of it is, if you on a 10, life is going to knock you down to, and I want you to knock you down to a 0. So you can have that new, be like, you know what? I was tweaking. Let me start from scratch and let me start rebuilding. See, that's how it happened with me. I done made mistakes. I still make mistakes.
Oh
I
yeah.
done made mistakes that had me in the negatives. I'm like, I'm at a -1, -2. I say, damn, how the fuck I'm gonna get out this situation? And it just hits you. You just like, damn, this shit ain't no game.
Sounds in the negative.
No, for real. Like I had a situation one time. Oh, that shit. I said, "Oh Lord, I'm at a negative." I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get out. But you know what? That bumped my head. That said, "Oh, I need to move like this." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I wanted to and I want to throw it back to you. You know, when I say, for the older generation, I kind of wish y'all would be a little bit in tune, and I'm transitioning a little bit because older people is what kind of run the world. You know what I'm saying? It's older people like in corporate positions. It's a lot of it's a lot of older people. Well, okay, well here and there, but
I'll
yeah,
say
go ahead.
I'll say this, like I hear your point of view, and you're absolutely right. Experience is the best teacher. But if I can prevent someone from making the mistakes that I made or having to deal with the experiences that me or you had to deal with, then you're only doing them justice by
Oh
telling
yeah,
them, right?
yeah,
So if they're gonna be, it's just like what our parents would always tell us, right? A hard head make a soft ass, right?
yeah.
So what that means really is, hey, if you don't want to heed these warnings or heed to what I have to say, guess what? It's ways that's gonna wake you up and that's gonna get your attention. I'm trying to prevent you from having to go through that. That's my main thing. Like I want to keep you from having to experience the headache of, like you said, I'm hitting the negative. Well, I want to prevent you from going negative. If I can
Yeah.
prevent you from being at that 10, going to maybe a 8 or a 7, then great. I did my job, and you can still get the experience because it took you down a little bit. And you get your experience to build yourself back up. And from that point, you hope that you learn a lesson. You hope that it motivated you and it's going to make you stronger and it's going to continue to push you to want more, to want greatness out of yourself. That's one thing that I say, man, like playing sports is, I never forget, man, when I was going to South Carolina, man, I'll never forget when I was leaving, a dude had told me straight up, like, yeah, high school, you may have been this or that, whatever, but now it's a whole different level. You start at ground zero and you got to work extremely harder than what you ever did before. And I remember sitting there going to school, and I told this story before, but I
Yeah.
remember going into the gym and we just playing pickup, right? And mind you, yeah, I played against big dudes, but I ain't never played
Yeah.
against, big like 6'10, 6'11, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
I remember we playing pickup and I'm running at the back, like trying to get to cut the baseline off. A lob comes and I turn and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I can jump, feeling good, jump. Hey, dude,
Yeah, no.
6'10 came, took it from my hand, looked at me, and then dumped it. I was like, oh no, this
Yeah.
like, I ain't ready. You know what I'm saying?
God
So
damn. Yeah.
you figure that out the hard way. And I remember that just taking my confidence, like, oh yeah, hold on, I gotta really like work here. You know what I'm saying? So even in leaving school, leaving Langston, Oklahoma, coming back home
Yeah.
and trying to, oh yeah, I'm ready. I can step out on my own. You know what I'm saying? Me and my
Yeah.
homeboy that grew up together, we got an apartment together. And I'll
Yeah.
never forget, like, first time having bills. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I'm
Yeah.
looking at my check like, hey, yeah, we in the streets this weekend, but then it's like, oh, dang, I got bills. Wait a minute, I can't, like, I want to
Yeah.
take a little girl out to drink or something, go get something to eat. Oh, wait a minute, it's real. So that type of experience, and your brothers being 19, man, you got to know and understand they looking at you like you already doing it. You 25, you progressing in life. You got your son, you got your girl, y'all doing y'all thing. They looking at you like, yeah, in their minds, they're thinking, yeah, CJ older or whatever, but at the same time, they're gonna want to mimic what you do. So you're setting that example for them, and where they can come to you, they can talk to you. But at the same time, I get what you're saying. It is like, all right, I see where this headed. You gonna have to figure it out. Like
Hey,
I do
hey,
that with people too. Like, yeah, I know where this is going, but you got it.
hey, so I ain't gonna put my people's business out there like that, but I can, I can let you in on like a little something. What's going on, EB?
Mr.
You know what I'm saying?
Butler in the
Yeah,
building.
yes, sir. But what I was gonna say, so my youngest, so I got twin brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And all I'm gonna say is one of them doing real well. The other one, he's struggling a little bit. Anyway, long story short, he made me an uncle, right? And I was like, bro, what you? And it's funny because I was trying to tell him when he was out here. I said, yo, you with the same chick that you with high school. I'm like, bro, if I got the girl like my little high school whatever pregnant boy, I'd be miserable. Like I'd
Right.
be in this whole crying. I'd be in this, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this whole like fuck, like god damn, this can't wait to get out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
Hold on. You can't just bypass that like you did say.
what?
You were with your high school, you'll still be miserable.
Bro, if I was with my high school little whatever, nigga, I'd be fucked, bro. Like,
Oh
like,
man.
hey, like dead ass, bro. I'd be in some shit. I'd be miserable. I'd be like, damn. Like, and every time I see the child, I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, nah. But hey, the point is, hey, but look though, but I was trying to tell my man, I say, bro, when you get out of high school, bro, and he doing the whole army thing like me,
Oh,
bro,
okay.
time out. I went to Japan, I went to Africa, I went to South Carolina, North Carolina, California. I went to I was in Chicago for a quick little second, went to New Jersey, I went to New York, I went to all these places, and I like, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. So, so when I, settled down and got with the woman I with right now, bro, I don't see like every girl from every coast. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And I'm like, bro, you a youngster, bro. Chill out, bro. Like, bro, all you see is Lancaster. Like,
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
outside, bro. Like, step even into like Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Long
right.
story short, I tried to tell him, you couldn't tell that nigga shit. He was like, nigga, I got this. I just like, all right, bro. Just hey, I just said, all right, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
But that's one
that
of those
yeah,
situations where
yeah,
that's why I agree with you as far as like, all right, well, I told you, but
yeah,
once you
yeah.
see it for what it is, or even for him, let's say when he leaves, if he still has that mindset when she leaves, or if she goes to visit him, she's still gonna have dudes in her ear or in her face. You know what I'm saying? So
She gonna, hey, this shit ain't gonna work, bro. Hey, this shit ain't gonna work. It's gonna end in the fucking train wreck, god damn it. And I'm calling it. I give it, hell. Matter of fact, me and my girl had a contest. I said, shit, hey, I get this shit about a year and a half. She said she get about a year and a half and a couple months. I'm out here like, all right, and people be saying, oh, you praying on his downfall. I'm not praying on his
nah,
downfall.
yeah,
That's far from the truth. It's just I try to tell you.
yeah.
And then he constantly hit me. He like, man, there's so many such and such out here. Cause he in Fort Lee, so he in Virginia. I said, I
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I know, brother. I said, I know. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but that's just an instance as far as, but Justin, I wanted to ask you something, us as the younger generation, we appreciate people kind of like so I don't know if you watch like sports shows like that, but
Oh yeah.
Shannon Sharp. Okay, so Undisputed. Shannon Sharpe is a great representation of people like, because he's older than, actually he's like 50, 51. So so he's up there in age. He gives you all this wisdom. Like, he gives you wisdom, but he clicks it up with the younger generation because he's in tune. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fort Lee, Virginia got him in the building.
Hey, I know that's Doc talk. Hey, we go. Hey, Doc, I'm gonna hit you offline.
He was military too.
Yeah, man. So my brother is in Fort Lee, but I was in Fort Jackson for so damn long, man. But hey, I wanted to go to Fort Lee. That's how lit it was. Time out. Hey, just time out right quick. The equivalent, I don't know when Doc went, but Fort Lee, when I went, nigga, that was the Miami. I used to go on Snapchat. I'm in this whole like, damn, I want to go. I was like, damn, I want to go. I'm like, shit, I want to go. But anyway, though, but it's just so funny, like how we appreciate.
Yeah, A-Trap said Shannon Sharpe 54.
Shit, that's what I'm saying. Like, he an older cat, but you see how he dropped all that wisdom. He got wisdom, but he tried to click it up with the younger crowd. We kind of appreciate that because because you in tune. Some older people don't want to be in tune with what's going on in today's world, which is okay, which is fine. That's kind of when the disconnect comes, because I'd be like, all right, you telling me some shit like that ain't how we rolling nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
But that's my question to you. Is it in tune, or is it there? Because how I look at it, man, like, I'm sorry, but what was the rapper that just got shot? Lil T or whatever?
Lil TJ.
Look, man, I didn't even know who he was. I promise you. And my 12-year-old told me, and I'm like, nah, I don't know who that is. And,
no, I'm not. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but like for me, it's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't want to be in tune with that. It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying?
No. Hey, no, I'm not saying. No, I ain't saying you got to keep up with what's going on the shade room and shit. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying more in tune in today's mentality / like what's okay. So, for example, right? So you remember back in the day, and let's just talk about dating, right? Mm-hmm. Dating back in the day and dating now are two different things, right? Back in the day, when you wanted to actually court a woman, niggas was pulling up, with a goddamn rose, doing the whole beatbox shit. I don't know how true that shit was. I don't know how true that shit is, but doing all that, just you focusing on that one girl for the rest, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. So you doing all that versus kind of how it is now. Now dating is different because the mentality different. The women are different. The men are different. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different mentality what's going on. So somebody may get, not to say that it may not work, but you're giving me something that's outdated that worked for women that was in your time frame or whatever. That shit. Yeah, Justin. Let me try to show up to a shawty crib with a fucking boom box with a goddamn hey, dressed up, suited and booted. She gonna look at me like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, and it's funny because she ain't gonna say I'm disrespectful. Like, she ain't, she gonna be like, bro, like, you ain't gotta do that. Just, wear a t-shirt, wear some, you know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of when I mean by I'm saying like kind of in tune. I ain't saying you got to know what's going on with all these new niggas. I'm just saying more up to date in like today's quote unquote standards. That's why we appreciate the people like that. You
got to check it, man. So for the dating scene, right?
Right. And that was just an example.
Yeah. And that's a great example to go off of.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. Back in the day when dudes were doing that, it probably was like the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Back then.
Yeah.
But one thing about it is when women get older, they appreciate that what we would consider cheesy or what we would consider lame. They appreciate that now. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know
for
what I'm
sure,
saying?
for sure, for
Like
sure.
today, I mean, I don't know. I haven't dated in years, but I know the 23, 25-year-old Justin Dayton versus Justin Dayton now, like it's night and day. Like I wouldn't be, it wouldn't be so much of, yo, let me find the lit happy hour. So I know it's like $2 you call it, and we finna go get lit off $10.
Hey,
And
hey, hold on. Okay, Justin. So I'll say this, right? Okay, so here's a kind of a more professional way, right? So back in the day, I remember back in the day, and I don't know about every family, but I'm going to generalize it. You're more than welcome to correct me.
mm-hmm.
Back in the day, a lot of people was focused on finding a great job. You know, hey, you go to school, you get your degree, or if your family even mentioned anything about trade, my family ain't mentioned no shit about trade, but whatever. But but some families did,
Right,
you
right.
try to go to school or you try to find a good trade, you get a good job, and you just, like you get a good job and you just chill off that. You know what I'm saying? So, which is, that's okay. I'm kind of seeing it more in today's age to be more entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? Try to own your own stuff. Not to say that was just never taught back then. I ain't saying it wasn't,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was more prevalent. You go to school, you get a scholarship in basketball, or you get an academic scholarship, or you play the band, you do whatever. You get a scholarship, you go to college, you get great job, and you chill out. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but now the mentality is you're going to try to tell that to somebody that's just so focused on wanting to be an entrepreneur. And we live in a day and age now, hell, you can become your own, you can start your little business a little bit more easily now. So you see how if maybe an older person try to tell somebody that's trying to be an entrepreneur, get a good job, he or she may not be so inclined. They like, okay, you tell me that, which I hear you, but that's
Right,
not what I
right.
want to do. But the older, they're like, nah, young blood, you need to get you a better job because this, that, and the third. Not to say that's the wrong advice, but that's the advice that younger person isn't going to want to try to hear at that time. At that time, not to say
Okay.
she or he ain't, but at that time, they're not trying to hear that, but they want to hear, okay, so you want to get your own business. Here's how you do this. Have you looked at, business tax? Have you looked at getting an LLC? This,
Right,
that, and the
right,
third.
right, right,
Them
right.
new terms I'm shooting out like this, that, and the third. That wasn't taught to me back in the day. Shit, my mom was like, nigga, you better run. Yeah, because I did track and shit. So, nigga, you better run. You better get you a good job so you can take care of yourself.
Right, right,
Which
right.
there's nothing, which I cannot stress that enough. There's
Yeah, it's
nothing
nothing
wrong
wrong
with
with
that.
it. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But this newer generation, we trying to be entrepreneurs. You see what I'm
So
saying?
so my advice to that is that's why it's so important to find like-minded people. If
Yeah.
if that's what I want to do for myself, or I want to do that, I need to surround myself with people that are already where I plan on being or where I want to be. It goes back to what I said about surrounding yourself with people that's going to push you or motivate you to push yourself. And prime example, I mean, King Doc went from corporate America to having his own business as well, and very successful, doing very well for himself. If that's the position that you want to go with, then that's one of the examples that I would tell you, hey, you need to plug in here. You need to let him know and talk to him about that,
Mm-hmm.
because he's going to be able to give you more sound advice than what I would be able to. Example for me is Eric Butler, prime example. Within
Yeah.
the banking industry, when I got over to Comerica and I first got to link with Eric, as far as like, hey, this dude understands because he's me. He represents the culture as well. But not only that, but he's trying to push me to get as much as I can out of it, because the company is going to do the same thing to you. they're going to push you to get as much as they can out of you for the least amount of money that they could possibly have to pay you. So
yeah,
you get with people that are sound-minded and like-minded in order to really push you in the direction that you want to be in order for you to have that success. Because if you're talking to someone that wants to be an entrepreneur and they want their own business, but you're talking to someone that works a corporate 9 to 5, that person that's working at 9 to 5 can only tell you about what they know and what they're doing and
right.
what they feel. Because success is really in the eye of the beholder. They always say beauty is, well, success is too. Because you got some people that are content, like, yo, I got my house, I got my car, my bills are paid, I'm good. I don't need nothing else.
Ain't
you know
nothing
what I'm saying? But you have some people that are like, yeah, that's great and all, but I want to take it a step further. I want to be able to take these lavish trips, or I want to be able to, somebody call me and be like, hey, I got this smooth investment for you to get in. You want to be able to say, yeah, I got that 10,000 in the bank. Come on, I'll write you a check, or I'm sending that over right now.
Hey, hold on. Now, this is just a quick side topic. Then I see we, run out of crunch time. But I'm gonna ask you one more question, then we can, jump out. Well, I want to shift into something else later, but let me just ask you this one question right quick. Well, not ask you this one question, but like to just make like quick little comment. Hey, it's funny how everybody be saying like, oh, working a corporate job is lame. Lord, going to 9 to 5. I'd be like, you know what? It's lame to you because you ain't making shit. Watch you. Hey, I guarantee if your job's trying to pay you 6 figures, you gonna be in that bitch happy as hell. Or it ain't gotta be 6 figures. If you making a cool 70, 77, or whatever that works for you, all that whole entrepreneur shit, that shit shut your ass down. Because you like, shit, I'm making good money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of tests the real entrepreneurs, that want to do their own thing. Versus the whole 9 to 5, which, like I said, I see a lot of people, they always talk about, oh, I want to be oncho this, that, and the third, blase, until they get their raise, until the check look different, then they cool it. So that was just my little 2 cents on that. But
that's smooth because how I always looked at it is, the main thing I was always hearing was, I don't want to work for the man. I don't want to work for the man. Well, that's fine and dandy, but you got to position yourself where you can have that say so. Like, if you are working a 9 to 5, position yourself where you have enough liquidity, you have enough assets where you can say, hey, I can step back. I got enough money in reserves or in the bank or whatever, where my bills and everything are straight for maybe, let's say, a good solid 2 years. And then you can say, yeah, I'm going to jump into my own business feet first and see where it gets me. And if it doesn't get me where I need to, I still got that cushion that I got from working for the man. I got that cushion that's going to get me through until I start having success. Because most people, when they say they want their own business, all they're seeing is the end product. That's all they're seeing. Bill Gates didn't start off wealthy. Warren Buffett didn't start off just having Amazon or having Google. They didn't start off having those companies. They had to build those companies. So you got to look at from the beginning until where they're at now, or until the end in some cases. But there's a window. I don't care who you are, what company it is. There's a window of struggle. There's a window of, hey, I ain't make anything, or this year I ended up paying out more money than I brought in. So when you get to that point, then you really get an understanding of, okay, is this for me or is it not? You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So here's like the last thing I wanted to say, and now some real good advice. I wasn't trying to just glaze over you, but like I'm trying to keep it to time restraints. But what I was gonna say, so like my last thing when it comes to the older versus the old school, new school, something I see a lot as well, and it's kind of a which I'm not gonna. Okay, so I just see it more prevalent in the older community versus now. Kind of now it's kind of like whatever. But so when the older generation would give the younger generation advice. When the younger generation don't take it, these older motherfuckers be acting like we told them to fuck off. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, hold on, like what I did. Oh well, that's okay. When you broke and you homeless or whatever, don't. I said, hold on, nigga. Bro, I didn't say like, you know what I'm saying. I didn't say anything that was bad. I just said, you know. But I feel like a lot of the older generation, you know, they kind of, when it comes to when people don't want to take their advice, you know, and maybe it might not just be the older gen. I just see it more prevalent. But it's funny how when some people don't want to take advice, we're disrespectful, we don't know what the hell we talking about. We just say, oh, thank you, but now we cool on that. They shake their head, roll their eyes, like whatever, you know. And depending on the circumstances, you know, if it's I'm reading that comment with you down.
Oh yeah. This Eric. Eric always gives sound advice.
Hey man, Eric. Hey man, he might have to mute his comments because I fucking around want to jump back on that shit. But just yeah, you know, I was just saying, I just feel like it's always some type of quote unquote disrespect when it comes to that whole. Oh no, we you know what I'm saying? We cool on that, and I just feel like that's another reason that kind of turns away the younger generation, because I'm like, hey. Me personally, if you keep making somebody feel like they a dumbass every time they come to you when they don't want to take your advice, guess what? They not gonna want to fuck with you.
Yeah,
exactly. They ain't gonna want to come. They gonna be like, well, nah, I don't want to go to that.
I know what's gonna come with that. Yeah.
I know what's gonna come with that. So I don't want to go with that old head. He gonna keep dissing me every time. I just be like, nah, I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. My word of advice with that is, if you do have someone that's coming to you or asking you for your opinion or for your advice, you gotta have that respect for that individual as a person first and foremost, because they're coming to you for a reason. They see something in you that they admire or they have respect for, and you're at a position of a privilege to share that information with them. So how I always view that is, even though I may be thinking that, I may be thinking, well, damn, you're gonna be an idiot not to take this, or you ain't really got your head on straight. You know what I'm saying? But it's a way you position it, it's a way you say it. And once again, the key word is it's advice. It's not the 10 Commandments. You're not God. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm saying,
like you just giving advice. I know it's been several times that I went to someone and asked for their opinion or asked for advice, and I may not have applied it the correct way. But the thing is, I kept those lines of communication open so I can always go to them though. And at the same time, I let them know, like, yo, that's really something to think about. Because you may not catch it right then and there. It may be something that you got to put in your head and legit think about, sleep on it, give it a day or two. Then when you come to that conclusion of, aha, that's what you were saying. Okay, now I get it. Okay, now I caught on to what you were trying to tell me. Then you apply it to, once again, you have to apply it to what's best for CJ or what's best for any other person that you're giving advice to. Because my experience and your experience are not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Life throw curveballs at everyone. The thing is this though, like, how many of them you gonna knock out the park? How many are you gonna allow to strike you out? You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing, is how I always looked at it. Like, yo, when a curveball come my way, I need to be able to say, boom, let me bounce back, let me figure it out, let me move this or do that, whatever the case, in order to keep my life on track or keep me in the direction that I want to continue to go in. But you're right though. If I'm a youngster and I'm talking to somebody, even me now, if I got an old head in my ear telling me, you stupid, you don't want to listen, you da 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 da. 9 times out of 10, I don't want to come back to you. So once again, align yourself with like-minded people people that you know have your best interests at heart, because if you really care about somebody, you really have that love and respect for that person, you ain't gonna talk to them like that anyway. Like when your son becomes of age, you ain't gonna talk to your son like, you know, damn, what the fuck, blah, 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 blah. You're gonna really sit down and explain it. But yeah, a frustration.
I don't know, shit. I might be like, damn, nigga, you twinking, bro. You nah, I'm playing.
Nah, it's really interesting because, man, when things like that happen, you got to be able to say, okay, let me take a step back. Let me allow myself to put myself in his shoes or his position or her shoes or her position to try to understand the mindset. And I agree with you. You absolutely right. Sometimes people don't want to understand or want to hear the mindset or hear the thought process. They just want to tell you how to get the answer or get the solution instead of actually walking you through it. And you know, another example I can give you was me working with me working in retail in the banking industry, and Eric being one of the guys that was helping me out. And he told me straight up, Justin, don't get discouraged if things don't go the way you want them to go, or you feel like the opportunities ain't, you know, you're not getting the opportunities you feel like you deserve, because there's probably something bigger and better for you. And for me personally, did I want to hear that at that time? No, I really got discouraged and felt like, yo, man, they ain't trying to look out for me. And I felt really hurt because it was a lady that held that position, that held in my mind at that time, she held my future. And I felt like, you're not even giving me an opportunity. You ain't even giving me a shot. And I can't understand why. So yeah, it was easy to get upset and be like, oh, forget it, blah, blah, blah. But it was Eric that talked me out of that. Like, no, it's probably something bigger and better for you. And lo and behold, I stuck around, I stayed, and I got put in the position that I'm in now. And even in this position, I'm still looking to elevate my career and advance my career. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things as a young man or young woman, teaching them patience, teaching them understanding, and also learning how to follow like-minded people that have your best interests at heart. They ain't got to know you your whole life to have your best interests at heart. You just need to know they're genuine people. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Facts. You know, and just to wrap it up a little bit, just to get like my little final thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You know, I would just say, you know, for one, I do want to address what King Dog said. You know, he was saying, well, you know, I don't know if that's King Dog, because that was King Dog that was speaking, but I don't know if he runs that page. The Queen, the Three Queen and One
Queen,
King.
Three, and King podcast.
Yeah, does he run that?
It may be, but go ahead, because he'll get the message.
Okay. Well, whoever that is on the podcast, on the King Queen, I was gonna say, you know, they said conversation, or he or she said conversation rules the nation, and that's facts. You know, that don't change with old school or new school or whatever. You know, so we gotta have more conversations. You know, and with conversation, people. Okay, so that's Doc, right?
Yeah,
okay, bet that. Yeah, so so people have to when it comes with conversation, people also have to be willing to listen as well, So, so that's a big thing.
That's a big part of conversation, is being able to listen. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all noticed, but that's why, on certain podcasts when I'm on, I'm there with the older people. Man, I just be liking, like, just to, I'll say some funny, just some old stupid shit, just because I'm like, hell, I'm goofy, but I like to listen. I like to just, just add heat and just, you know what I'm saying, just catch some, maybe I may pick something up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hell, Justin, I'm pretty sure you heard some shit that an older dude told, or older woman told you. Was like, no, thank you. You know, he was like, yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. I ain't doing that one. But I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Same with me. You know, they say, hey man, you just da da da. I'll be like, I'd be like, nigga, I ain't okay. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Like, you know what I'm saying? But just to have more conversation and just to be more receptive to listening, that's a big part of that's a real big part. But I'll just kind of end it off like this, for the younger generation. I got an uncle that's a pimp, and man, I wish I could repeat 2/3 of the shit he said, but and a lot of people had like drug dealers and shit back in their family. My family is nothing but full of pimps, dog. Like I got some stories I can tell you. So my whole view on things is just fucked up. But but one thing I will say that my uncle told me, he was like, hey, there's always gonna be a freshman. No matter how old you get, there's always gonna be that freshman. And I can't repeat. I don't know who Facebook user is. No, I can't repeat. No, I can't repeat. Maybe one day when we do a BS3 after dark, then we may, hey, BS3 on the Elevate, PG-13 edition, then I may, but not on this channel. But he was just saying there's always gonna be another freshman. And eventually, you a freshman now, nigga, you gonna be the senior. You gonna be the senior. And I'm pretty sure he was literally talking about just girls. Oh, it's
Grace.
Shit.
What's up, Grace?
Shit.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for tuning in at the last second. But anyway, but I applied that to life. What I'm saying? There's always gonna be somebody younger than you. Hell, I was like, I'm 25 and I'm 25. Eventually, I'm gonna be 37. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be another 25-year-old. It's just the cycle goes on. So what we gotta do as as part of like the younger generation, we really gotta adhere to that advice. We really gotta, you gotta start leaving nuggets for the younger generation. Y'all gotta put in, you gotta put in the work now. You gotta put in the work now. And that's all I gotta say. If I think of something else, I'll let you know here.
Now, I had a coach that used to say that to us, and I know it's gonna sound terrible, but he would say this to us on campus at school. He would always, because most coaches, man, they relate to athletes because they're former athletes, right?
Of course,
especially on certain levels. But he would always say that, it's a new batch getting ready to graduate. Come May, it's a new batch. That was his mentality. So when you said that about your uncle, I'm like, I know what you're saying. But man, one thing that I got as far as, like you said, doing the work now and dropping nuggets now, like, man, when I was younger, King Doc would take me, my cousin Frank, which is his niece's husband, and his son and his nephew. He would take us bowling, and man, we only did it for probably like a few months, but that was like some of the best times ever, just to see him outside of the family. But also, like, you already know he a funny dude. But at the same time, with him being funny, he was giving us knowledge. He was giving us wisdom. He was giving a lot of us like that confidence of you can go a lot further than what you think, because you just have someone like him or someone like, yourself that believes in you, that just really boosts your morale really altogether. And those are things that I remember that I was like, yo, that's what's up. And you already ahead of the curve, CJ. You 25 years old and you doing podcasts with adults. you're doing podcasts with people that are, you know, your seniors and your elders, where if I was 25, I don't think I would be doing this. Like,
hey, you know what? I actually had one of my partners, you know, and I asked him, I was like, yo, man, I think, you know, man, I was like, man, I think we should do a little something on, not on Elevate, but like, I don't know, possibly, I was thinking about maybe branching out or whatever, but he seen the podcast. He was like, no disrespect, he was like, man, it's a bunch of older cats on there, man. I don't want to be on there. And I forgot which episode he watched, but he watched. I forgot what he watched. He watched something. He was like,
"Now I don't know about that now." But you got it, CJ. Don't worry about him, man.
Okay.
Now he's just being foolish.
Okay, bet that. But I had somebody that I was thinking about, maybe, you know what I'm saying. But he was kind of looking at the pot. He was like, man, I don't think I can get down, because they, you know, like, they're a little bit too old, you know. And some of the jokes, I mean, and that's the thing, and that's even a different thing. See, my jokes are different from Ivan jokes. You know, my jokes gonna be different from what, you know, what's funny. Like, what's funny to them, you know, and don't get to it. Hey, Ivan a funny dude, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes he be throwing references. I don't know who the hell he talking about. I'll be like, oh yeah. Hey, matter of fact, it was a time everybody was laughing on the podcast. I couldn't even laugh because I didn't know who he was talking about. He was talking about somebody. He was talking about somebody. Everybody having knee slapped. I'm just sitting here, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking around, but, you know, but that's no knock. I was just saying, you know, but I was just telling my boy, he didn't want to, you know, he was like, nah, I don't think they gonna understand our jokes, because I be saying corny, you know, I be saying some funny shit, but just don't nobody catch it. I'm like, man, if I was with my niggas, man, everybody been this bitch laughing, but you know, but
Bring
you know, but
on.
anyway. No, most definitely.
I want, like, this is a thing with our platform, CJ. Like, I'm open to pushing myself and challenging myself to that. And we got that example. A-Trap gave us that example, man. He was on the last episode that he was on, where he was talking about his son and how him and his son have that relationship of, okay, you school me to some of the stuff that y'all on now. Like, I'm all for it. I mean, you know, all day, yeah, I want to have fun. I want to, you know, like, get a message and everything. But yeah, I don't want your friend to feel like, yo, that they older, they won't get me, whatever. Like, no, this is what this is for, to bring him on. So, hey, let's have these conversations. Let's have this type of dialogue.
And I was telling him, I was like, yo, Justin is the perfect example, because I feel like if you try, you know, because I was letting them know about some things about the network. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know if you finna go on. I don't even know if she on here no more. Hey, that whole what's happening in life, that whole grace, the life experience, happens. I'm like, nah, bro, you a little bit too wicked on there, bro. I'm like, hey, bro, you a little too wicked. The forecast, nah, bro, you a little too wicked. Like, you know, you gonna have to, you know, chill out. You know, because they told me to chill out on some situations. You know what I'm saying? For new contacts, actually, for the number. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But
before we even do that, you bring them on this platform.
No, I got you. And it's gonna be the trial.
Because at the end of the day, like, I agree with what Doc's saying. Like, yeah, I think the network is definitely open for always for new talent, younger, whatever. That's fine, but there's a sense of cool that you have to have in anything that you do.
With
your partner, I'm pretty sure, like, if you vouching for him, I trust you. I trust your word. You know what I'm saying? So you vouching for him, I already know, like, yo, he a good dude. But at the same time, you want to make sure, like, yo, just because it's an older crowd don't mean they won't get you or won't understand you. Y'all may have some inside jokes, and that's cool, and that's what's up. But my whole thing is, don't be afraid to be who you are, but at the same time, don't be afraid to challenge yourself to make the necessary changes in order to better yourself. That's it. Like, you don't have to lose yourself in order to better yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh no, and that's the thing, and that's just like another little nugget. You know what I'm saying? Most of the younger audience, they feel like, man, I had to act somebody. I had to act a different sort of way for people to understand me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And and that's something. And just on some real talk, that's why I never truly, like, I'm a goofy dude, and I just say just some old wild ass shit. But you know what? That's who I am. And here's just like another little nugget, like, you know what I'm saying? My uncle was on his deathbed, and he told me something that always stuck with me, but it had so much more meaning. I remember, like, he was dying, of course, but he ain't died that day, but he was, because he had like 2 types of cancers. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying, and he looked at me, I was, everybody all sad and shit, but I didn't understand how serious it was. I thought he was going to be okay. I just was told he was real, real sick. He was looking at me, he was like, nephew, there ain't nothing wrong with nappy hair, and he just kept saying, he was like, nephew, you ain't hear me. There is nothing wrong with nappy hair. And at first I was just thinking he was just talking about hair, but little did he know he was really talking about, like, man, there ain't nothing wrong with being just being yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you don't gotta change up how you are. You may have to tweak when you hit a certain audience, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't gotta stop, you know what I'm saying, doing what you're doing. So that's what I'm talking about. I said, hey, bro, if you ever feel like somebody telling you, all right, you need to chill out, you go to welcome, you ain't gotta never, but I guarantee you they're not gonna make you feel like that, because they've never felt me. The BS3, I ain't never felt like somebody was like, yo, you need to tone it down, or you need to quit being you. Now, if somebody would say you need to quit being you, then we have a whole different conversation. I'd be like, all right, bro. Well, shit. I don't fit the status quo. Then shit, fuck it. But I've never been told that, so that's just another.
And you won't be told that, and that's what. Definitely share that with your partner too. He won't be told that. It's you. How do I put this? I always look at it as, if you wouldn't go to your mama house saying it, or you wouldn't go to court and say it, or you wouldn't say it in front of any authority figure, then you probably don't need to say it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I always looked at it. So for me, like, when I'm amongst my peers, like, all day, I'm gonna shoot the shit, whatever. But when it comes to a representation that I want to set, as far as, like, in this world for society to see me, I always want them to see me on my A game, because you only get one shot at a first impression, right? So you want people to see that representation of you and be like, hey, that's CJ, boy. Hey, he get it. You know what I'm saying? And for those that are close to you, you want them to have that, he can play both parts. He can move in the crowd where there's millionaires, and he also can be the coolest cat you done ever met. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give a shout out to A-Trap. He hit me up on my phone. Him and his son have a podcast together, and I watched the episode for sure. I know I've seen a couple of them, but that's where he gives his son that opportunity to really dive in. As far
how can I watch that, man? Because I be trying to find his podcast, but I can never find it.
So you can go to Built for This Network, I believe it is. Okay. Is one of his Facebook pages, and find it on there, as well as everywhere else, I'm sure. But that's one thing that I admire, that he does that with his son, and that's something that I'm going to implement. But my son, man, I mean, I want to implement with him now, but now he's 12. Jeremiah, not Justin. Man, Justice to get on here and talk to us.
No, hell no. I'm talking about the one with all that damn hair.
Which one? Oh, Jaden. Oh man, nah, he'll hey, that
Hey, why not?
that's one that we still coaching, man, still coaching.
Let's
Cause
get on here, man.
yeah, I would love to, but the thing is, a lot like Jeremiah's not shy. Jaden's more reserved and pulled back than what Jeremiah is. So Jeremiah's gonna do an episode, especially this summer since I got him and stuff. But
okay, for sure.
it's gonna be. I'm gonna give the disclaimer now. It's gonna be really something else with him because man, that kid there, I'm telling you. Now here's cool. A-Trap right here. Yes, you know what? Oh no, that's Ivans. Sorry. Yeah, the end of the bench.
End of the bench on YouTube.
Yeah,
all right, man. I'll look that up.
Definitely check that out, man. Because both of them. If you hear his son, you would think that his son is much older than what he is, but that's that wisdom coming out.
My age, right?
Yeah,
I think his son 25 as well. Yeah.
That's that wisdom coming out, and also, man, he got a hell of a father figure to look up to. So, shout out to them for sure. But man, with that, man, we gonna go ahead and jump up out of here. We kept our good people long enough. My brother, is always, thank you, and I appreciate you. No problem. I'm gonna be hollering at you anyway. So, with that, we gonna go ahead and jump, good people. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Elevate.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.